So welcome to the show, Michael.
Thank you for having me.
So tonight's topic is a new start, and you're going to be talking to us about starting a second career path.
Yes, indeed. In this day and age especially, long gone are the jobs for life, as it were, and people will find themselves suddenly they've been made redundant or they have decided to take on something new career-wise. It might just be that they've come to realise that there's something else they really would like to do before time runs out, or they don't have an option, and so they're going to use the opportunity to do something that they think they would like to do, rather than something that maybe they weren't so happy doing. So anyway, so yes, some people wing it. They just throw themselves into a new start. They bluff their way in, they get on with it, they just wing it, and they get on. And we hear about these cases where suddenly you hear someone's suddenly made it overnight success. In actual fact, when you actually do a bit of investigation, you find that that's very rare. Most people that they put down the press calls overnight successes, they actually have worked very hard to get to where they are. They put themselves in a position where opportunities will come to them more easily. And they may have contacts, they may have family and friends contacts, they may have a mentor that can help them. And they might well have developed a nice network of people within the industry. So yes, that's how some people do it. But there is another way, I think a better way, and that is you can combine the two if you like, but there's a systematic approach that you could use, which I think could put you in a position where you could save yourself a lot of grief and avoid the pitfalls and some of the cul-de-sacs that you could find yourself going down. And as a systematic approach would be, first of all, you need to either open up a new folder on your computer, or else get a notepad out and start. So you need, first of all, you need to actually find out exactly where you are. You need to know what your position is right now before you know where you're going to go next. So you prepare your wish list, as it were, the work activities that you would really like to do, that you enjoy doing, and it might be more than one. So don't just focus on one specific career job, as it were, or objective. It might be 2 or 3 other things that would also interest you. List them down. Don't miss them out. Don't just go for one, because you might find that things change when you're making a decision afterwards, and you might find that what you thought was your dream career or job turns out there's something there that wouldn't quite fit in right, but there's something else that you'd like to do that's akin to that, or something else you might like to do instead. So you then have to draft up your taking stock of your position is very important. You have to take stock in terms of your circumstances. So now you look at your financial position, your incomes, dependents, that sort of thing. You need to really know what your resources are, how much time you're going to have and how much commitment you can put to it, and what your finances are. And if you're reliant or someone else is reliant upon you as well. Very important you do all of that. Get that one out the way, and then we can start drafting up our skills profile. Now, this is your balance sheet in terms of your work skills and what you're really good at doing. So you need to put down, be brutally honest with yourself. You can't kid yourself on this one at all. You don't want to put yourself in a position like BGT or X Factor, where you turn around and you think you've got this marvellous skill or voice, or you can perform really well, and it's evident when you do stand in front of a camera that it can't be done. So irrespective of what David Williams might say, you actually need to be very honest with yourself. So what you do with that kind of thing is you're going to put yourself in a position where you're going to list exactly what qualifications you've got, what training you've done, what experience you have. That's very important. That's what you've got in your career balance sheet at the moment, and you may need to change or build on that, okay? And the wonderful thing is, once you start talking to people, and when you're applying for jobs or whatever, and they'll say, well, why do you want to be in this industry? They'll ask you questions about your interests. They'll see that you've got a commitment, you've got a plan, you're training, you're qualifying, you're gaining experience, because you want to get to plan B, you want to get to the next level. That's very good. So once you've got all of that down, you've done it, then it's just a case of luck. Is luck going to come your way? Well, I mean, there's always a big pinch of luck involved in anything you do, but at least you're in a position where you've done everything else, you've ticked all the other boxes. So when you do an application, you make an application to go into a particular higher level in the career or a better job, then you've ticked all the other boxes. So in actual fact, you put yourself ahead of a lot of the competition. So it's just the case then, when people make the decision, they look at you, that you become a more acceptable applicant than someone else. So that's basically a systematic approach in terms of trying to make the right decision and devising a plan and following it through. And good luck with it.
Fantastic. Very useful advice there. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Okay, thank you very much.